I believe in the Holy Catholic, which means universal church. The church is a visible gathering of the faithful for the representation of Christ's presence to the world. Ecclesia is the Greek word which is often translated as church. It means those who are called out. Jesus commanded the church to be his witnesses. The Greek word for witness is often translated as martyr, someone who is willing to suffer for a cause. The gospel will go out as Christians are willing to suffer and lay down their lives to bring good news to their neighbors, friends, and nations. The church is referred to biblically as a group of people, not the building they meet in. The church is a dynamic pilgrim people who are constantly moving in faith and obedience. There are 4 critical markers of the church. The first is the church is one. All Christian churches are based and founded on the one and only foundation of Jesus Christ himself. The church is holy, a communion of saints. A communion is a fellowship or gathering, and a saint is someone who is holy, not because of their own actions, but because they are called by a holy God and responded to his call. The church is Catholic, which means universal, or according to the whole. The church transcends all human boundaries, whether race, nation, gender, class, education, or any other boundary that we can create. And lastly, the church is apostolic. This means the church continues steadfastly in the faith and teachings of the first apostles and gladly accept the Great Commission. The mission or purpose of the church is to bring glory to God. The church does this 3 ways. First, in worship. Secondly, by being a witness, both in word and in deed. And finally, through biblical teaching, which is brought in the current context of the day. The activities of the church are sometimes called the sacraments. The 2 most universal are baptism and communion, or the Lord's Supper, also called Eucharist. We will discuss these in more detail when we cover the commands of Christ. The structure of the church varies by church tradition. All align, however, to the biblical foundation established in the early church, which you can find in the New Testament. There are many books on ecclesiology, or the study of the church as it has existed in history. In this series, we have focused on the biblical foundation. Here are a few verses you can use to start your studies. What does church mean to you? Is it an organization you attend? Is it a larger group of people across the world? Or is it something personal that exists inside of you as a follower of Christ? Take some time to reflect on what church means personally in your life. Here are some sources we used to develop the content in this series. You can find out more on our website, Facebook page, Instagram channel, Twitter account, or YouTube channel. Tune in next week as we discuss the forgiveness of sin.